Hey guys, Creator Mom. I just had a quick thought this morning. I was thinking about my ex and his story, about me, about our situation, even his story about him and his ex wife, and how he continuously told this story about him and his ex wife. Wherever we would go, he would tell his story. And of course, with me and our relationship, the story hasn't changed, right? It's basically the same story. She hasn't let me see my kids. And so, what I found interesting was his story is preventing him from the result that he wants, right? Because he claims the result that he wants is to see his kids. And we were in a meeting to do just that. We were in a meeting to accomplish just that very, very wonderful thing, right? But his lack of self-control and giving way into this story that he has was taking over. And, sure, we could argue that maybe deep down intentionally he doesn't want it, but he just wants to say that story, you know what I'm saying, because of mental illness or whatever, which is fine. But I was realizing, like, wow, like his story that he has to tell is getting in the way of the actual result that he's claiming that he wants. And then I thought, well, what ways, it's an interesting, thing to think, well, what ways am I telling a story or keeping a story that's preventing me from getting the results that I want, I think it's just kind of like a theme that could carry over in general. I don't know, like one story that I realized I was telling myself, for instance, about my job, right? I realized that something was coming up for me, and I got this thought that said, I'm afraid to waste people's time. I don't want to waste people's time. So this imagination, this subconscious belief was causing me to hurry up and get off the phone when people would object or just be like, oh no, I don't think I'm interested. No, I'm not interested. We're good. I would just not persist. I would just say, oh, okay, because I don't want to waste people's time, right? I don't want to intrude. I don't want to take up space. So even though I wanted to do something else, I couldn't because of this feeling and belief and fear that I was taking people's time. That story, So just looking for things that would, like, stories that are happening within me that may prevent me from being successful. And just kind of like gently trying to turn that around. Like, I'm not wasting people's time, but I'm actually opening a door for them, into something that they maybe don't know that they need yet, but that they need, just something like that. Just a gentle auto-suggestion, right? I was referring back again to Emile Coué's book about auto-suggestion, self-mastery through auto-suggestion. And he really specifies that when you do auto-suggestion, conscious auto-suggestion, to shift and change your imagination or your belief center, that you have to do it effortlessly. You can't, like, be striving and struggling and fighting against it. You have to be relaxed and do it in almost an effortless type of way. So yeah, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, but just thinking about how his story was preventing him from getting the thing he actually wanted. Like, we could have walked out of mediation that day with what he wanted, which was to see the kids. But he wanted his story more than he wanted the result. He wanted to control my things rather more than he wanted to see his kids, which was what he was saying. But if that were true, then we would have walked out that day and he would have got what he wanted. But his story and shit prevented that from happening. Anyways, yeah, it just made me kind of self-reflect, like, you know, and help me realize I'm not wasting anybody's time. Like, where the fuck did that belief even come from? Where did that shit come from? That I'm wasting people's time? That I'm not worth 5 minutes or 3 minutes of somebody's time? Like, that's insane. We're all worth time, and if somebody has to go, they'll hang up on you or something, or just be like, look, I gotta go. You know what I mean? Anyways, the fear of rejection and all of that stuff, you know, the fear of imposing. And so yeah, it's good. So I intend that I start to shift some of these things. In Jesus' name, bye.